Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to NTV Europe's weekly chat show, Talking Point. I'm your host, Syed Neaz Ahmed. Considering that this is December, this is the month of victory for Bangladesh, we thought that we will devote the entire program to the development and economy of Bangladesh, our ancestral home. Bangladesh is a country, they say, of 6 seasons. Normally we have 4, but Bangladesh is a country of 6 seasons. We have summer, we have rainy season, we have autumn, Sharatkal, and then we have a late autumn. Then we have winter, and then we have a spring. And all that is reflected in our moods and our culture and our clothes. Our guest today is Mrs. Sharifa Khan. She is the commercial counselor at the Bangladesh High Commission in London. She looks after trade, commerce and investment. Sharifa Khan studied at the Australian National University. She graduated from there. Back home in Bangladesh, she went to Begum Badunissa Government Girls College and obviously later on to Dhaka University. Welcome to the show, Mrs. Khan. How are you today?
I'm fine, very fine.
Thank you very much for making it all the way from the other side of London to East London.
It's my pleasure, it's my pleasure.
Thank you. It's a pleasure having you. I know that you are a very popular person on chat shows and television programs, but for the benefit of NTV's Talking Point viewers, I always ask my guests the personality behind this very famous person, the persona. Where did this all begin, the journey of your life? How did you end up in a government job, away from home, away from your near and dear ones?
In fact, it's just coincidence or some miracle. Most of my family members are in the teaching profession. My mother is a teacher, and most of my families are working in the teaching profession. But my father was in the civil servant. So after, when he died, I just finished my graduation from Dhaka University. Then I decided to since
follow the footsteps of your father.
Yeah, my father. That's why it inspired me, and most of his colleagues also inspired me to join in the government service.
Right. So you took the competitive examination.
Yeah,
what's called BCS or something?
I belong to the BCS administration cadre.
Right.
And I joined in the service in January 1991.
Great.
So it's about 25 years of my service.
Great. And do you still have, like they used to have civil service, account service, foreign service?
Yes. We have about 29 service cadres, foreign service. I belong to administration service, accounts, as you mentioned. There are so many cadres, education, engineering, doctors. So these are all.
Right. And where were you posted first?
My initial posting was in the Ministry of Agriculture. So then I was in the Dhaka Collectorate for did magisterial job, and then after that I went to Australia. After coming back, I was in the Public Administration Training Center. Did some teaching, which is my favorite profession.
Yes. There was a friend of mine, Shahid Akhtar. Was he there?
No.
He was an ambassador.
Yeah, I know him.
Yes.
I know him very well. After that, I was little bit out of the government service. I worked for USAID for a long time, for about 5 years. Then I came back in the civil service again, and I was in the Ministry of Commerce for a long time. I worked for the Ministry of Commerce on trade issues, particularly trade negotiation, for about 10 years.
Great.
Mainly I dealt the World Trade Organizations as well as the TICFA agreement with bilateral trade agreement with the USA. That was my interest in the trade, particularly my actual interest in the bilateral negotiation as well as intellectual property rights. So I was in the trade issues for a long time. Then I came here.
It's very unusual to find a lady in such a dry atmosphere of trade and negotiations and and bilateral understandings.
Once you get interest, it's really interesting. You, through the trade negotiation, you have to understand the modes of your opposite party,
right.
and you have to take the benefits. So you have to think how you can get the benefits. For that, what my learning from this is that if we can always give the first draft from our side, we can take advantage.
Right.
So I always
it's
try
like a
to
bargain.
a bargain. Then they will bargain on the basis of your text, rather than you find their faults, because that's why I always try to give, when we did the trade negotiation with the USA for TICFA agreement, I always try to give our text first.
Who works on this draft? I mean, you and your team.
Yeah, in the Ministry of Commerce, there are trade negotiation teams, and I was one of them. And that was totally, it took through a long way to sign an agreement with the USA. So we have some teams, we did some academic work, and we do the lots of consultation with the other stakeholders, say for other ministries, how they will be affected, how they will take the advantage. Then we take a country position.
Right.
I also dealt with the World Trade Organization for a long time, so that was also my interest area. So,
how do you find working with the ministries? Helpful, cooperative, or it's like most people say, like any application that you file in the government office, it takes ages.
No, I was also in the Ministry of Ministry, either in the agriculture or commerce, and most of time I was involved in the academic work. That's the different, not that much file work, but it's always not that much true, because it depends on which officer is dealing with that. Some people you will find they are very professional, they like to help the people, they try to expedite the process and give the relief or solutions to the client.
But this is not against just Bangladeshi officials. I mean, this is they say that the wheels of government, they are always very slow. So it happens everywhere. It's not just
in the government procedure, what the private sector can do, they can just take the decision. But in the government service, when you take a decision, you have to follow the rules and regulations.
It has to go from the ministry to
and
down.
There are some tiers in the process. So a desk officer starts, then it goes to the deputy secretary, joint secretary, then secretary, and sometimes it goes to the ministry. Sometimes it needs also the consultation from from other ministries. So it's not the private sector one man running the whole business, and then he takes the whole decision. Since we have to follow the procedure, and that is set by the government and the British procedure, we are still following. But we are trying to, now we are digitizing, and we are trying to overcome all this procedure.
Also in the private sector, like in the corporations, they want to make money, see. Time is money, see. So they have to have decisions. And then the officer who is supposed to take decisions, he's paid well, see, and he can take the risk. And then he will be fired also, because he has taken the risk, and it was not profitable for the company. But in government organizations, obviously the working is so different. Investment in Bangladesh, this is a very important issue, and recently the minister was here, and you were part of the team, and the road show. Just tell us about, what was it about, this road show?
In fact, we are trying to promote our trade and investment, and UK is one of our main destinations in terms of our trade, particularly export, and also for investment. About more than 11% of our export earning comes from the UK, and about the same percentage, for about 14% of our investment goes from the UK. So, but there are some knowledge gap or information gap or some image problem. So we try to showcase our capacities. We try to showcase the investment opportunities to the mainstream investors in Bangladesh. That's why we arranged this investment roadshow in last September. Apart from that, we also arranged some others. We arranged an e-commerce fair. We arranged a World Travel Market. The World Travel Market is the annual show where all the countries participate. So we believe tourism is one of our potential areas. So we participate this just to show the potentials of the country and how what products we can offer to our clients and how they can get benefits from the investment growth or economic growth of the country.
So what was gained out of this roadshow? You must have spent quite a good deal of money.
Yes, but we also got some response from that. We got a $5 billion from a Chinese company offer, so that is processing on. So if you consider the whole expenditure is very minimum. And there are a good number of companies still coming. They are asking many questions. They want to know what
inquiries,
so that we are getting, and a good number, 3 or 4 IT companies already went to Bangladesh, and they are showing their interest. They are working to invest in the high-tech park of Bangladesh. So we are getting some response. Unless we show our potentials, nobody will know our where we can do the business, where they can do the business, what Bangladesh is currently doing, and how they can get benefits from those.
Well, what are you offering in the field of IT? What can you do?
Government has recently set up a high-tech park. So it's in Gazipur. There are other also in the Kaliakor, Joshore. In the IT park, we have previously we have experienced export processing zone, you know. This is in the surrounding compound. You can do the production, you can export from there directly. So based on that experience, we thought if we can have same source of environment in a surrounding area, then the investor will feel much more comfortable. And if they can do this business with trust and confidence, we can have lots of IT is needed in everywhere nowadays in a digitized world. So we are offering they can have in the surroundings, they can get all sorts of utilities, including the land in the high-tech park area. And government also giving them tax holidays and some other incentives also.
Will it also be good for employment of
course, we are expecting about 5 million jobs will be created in the high-tech park. Most of these, you know, IT sectors, young professionals of Bangladesh, young just graduates, that they are coming up and they can find jobs in the high-tech park. So if you can engage the young pool of population to a productive work, that would bring a long-term benefit for the country.
Yes. Also, it's good for the development of the capital city, because everything these days for a long time has been Dhaka-centric.
Yeah, previously, but now you see we have also the economic zones. Government will set up about 100 economic zones, and all of these are out of the Dhaka. There is Mongla.
Thank you, ma'am. We have to take a commercial break here, and then when we come back, we'll definitely talk more about these economic zones and tax-free zones. Thank you for being with us. We'll be back soon after this break. Thank you.
Am I going too fast?